Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We will present about integrated pest management in cabbage. There are 5 members of us. The first one is Coryn Adelina Hutahaean, with study number 186. The next is Luhung Dharma Bhakti, with student number 188. Next is Teksenia Saswati, with student number 189. The next one is Rustiana Maharani, with student number 192. And the last one is Syifa Fairuz Zahra, with student number 194. Next. Okay, this is the introduction. Cabbage from the Basaceae family is vegetable plant, is an important vegetable commodity and has many benefits for human health. Cabbage was originally a wild plant in the subtropics. This plant comes from the urban region, which was found first in Cyprus, Italy, and the Mediterranean. Next. Okay, cultivation of cabbage crops often faces many obstacles due to pests and disease. Pests that attack cabbage can divide into 2 groups. There are the main pests. The main pest is 2 pests, striped caterpillar and caterpillar head. Next.
Okay, besides the main pests, we also have the secondary pests that can attack this plant. The first one is armyworms, jengkol caterpillar, and also aphids. Next. Okay, the first one we are gonna talk about three-tip caterpillar or Prutella silostella. Next. Okay, this pest is a plant pest that attack plant at the larval stage. The adult larvae sometimes damage the cabbage root, make holes in the crop, and eat the cabbage flower. This pest damage the cabbage plant by eating the leaves. The newly hatched larvae will eat the lower leaf surface, except for the leaf bones and the upper epidermis. The attack of these larvae causes white spots on the leaf, so that over time the leaf become hollow because the remaining epidermis become dry. Next. And the way to control this pest is by doing the biological method, the chemical method, and also the technical culture method. The biological method can be done by maintaining and utilizing natural enemies of pests. The natural enemies of this pest is parasitoids such as Diectema aeroplaga. And then the chemical method is by using insecticide if the population have reached the economic threshold, which is 0.5 larva per sample plant. The insecticide can be used by including the microbial insecticide such as Bacillus thuringiensis. And the last is doing the technical culture method by doing intercropping between tomatoes and cabbage or refusing female moths to lay eggs on a cabbage plant. Next.
Okay, the second is caterpillar head or Crocodolomia binotalis. Next. Caterpillar head attack the plant at the larva stage. Young larvae cluster on the underside of cabbage leaves and leave white patches on the edible leaves. The old instar larvae disperse and attack the shoot of the cabbage plant, destroying the growing point. The attack of this larva causes the plant dies or the cabbage stem from brains and some small pods. Next. How to control it? First, physical and mechanical can be done by taking groups of eggs, killing larvae and imago, or removing houseplants that are attacked by corrosive caterpillars. The second is biological method, utilization of natural enemies of pests, parasitoids, predators, or pathogens. The third is technical culture method, by planting pest-resistant varieties using healthy seeds, crop rotation, and implementing land sanitation. Next. The third is armyworms or Sporoptera litura. Sporoptera litura larvae are phytophagous insects that actively feed on the leaves, fruit, and flowers of the host plant. This caterpillar damages by eating leaves or shoots so that symptoms of hollow leaves appear and even the bones of the leaves are left.
How to control Sporoptera litura. The clinical culture method. Crop rotation with non-host plants, simultaneous planting with a time difference between early planting and late planting, not more than 10 days, and planting of imago trap plants and as litura X using MLH 3023 soybeans. The biological method. Natural enemies play an important role in regulating and maintaining the presence of pests below a harmless threshold. Among the several types of natural enemies that can be used as biological agents is the nuclear polyhedrosis virus or NPV, physical and mechanical, collecting and killing egg group, caterpillars of stage 1 to 2 which are still clustered, and caterpillars of stadia 4 until 6 which are located on the lower surface of the leaves at the top of the plant. Fourth is jengkal caterpillars or Chrysodesis ursalesi. The characteristic of this larva is when it walks like a stretch, symptoms of attacks caused by C. ursalesi larvae are larvae that will damage and eat leaves, so that the attacked leaves become hollow, starting from the upper or lower leaf edge. How to control it? First, planting corn as a trap. The cropping. Second, the cropping pattern is by setting the planting time. Third, sanitize weeds to reduce the possibility of other host plants. Fourth, application of NPV biological.
Okay, the last pest is aphids. Next. Aphids attack cabbage plants by pricking their pointed mouth parts and sucking the cell fluid. Aphids causes yellowing of the leaves and the mottled crop to look dirty. Aphids prefer to feed on the underside of the leaves or on the underside of the leaves near the growing point. Next. Okay. The way to control this pest is the chemical control and technical control. For the chemical control, we can spraying insecticides containing fipronil or diafentyuron, preferably spraying it in the afternoon. For the technical control, we can investing natural enemies such as crescent, parasitoid Apelinus gossypi, entomopathogenic fungus, neozygids fresnii, or predatory Coccinella transversalis. Next. Okay. From our presentation, we can conclude that pests that attack cabbage can be divided into two groups. There are primary or important pests and secondary pests. The main pests on cabbage are true-tip caterpillar and cabbage head caterpillar. Secondary pests on cabbage are jengkal caterpillar, armyworm, and aphids. Various pest control methods can be used to minimize yield losses due to pest attacks. There are mechanical, physical, cultural, chemical, and biological control. So that's all that we can explain about the pest of cabbage. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.